The movie begins with a scene of ostentatious celebration, a lavish birthday bash thrown by Gore, a former Polish intelligence operative now entrenched in terrorist activities, for his 8-year-old child. The opulent mansion serves as the backdrop, and the gathering presents a prime opportunity for a covert operation. Matt and Emily, posing as a wealthy French couple engaged in arms dealing, seamlessly blend into the party's elite atmosphere. Gore, completely unaware of their true intentions, welcomes them with open arms and a seemingly harmless handshake. However, during this exchange, Emily utilizes a concealed device to capture Gore's biometric data, specifically his fingerprints and voice patterns. This information grants them access to a heavily fortified vault where they retrieve the ICS key, a device of immense power, often referred to as the Master Key, capable of bringing entire cities to their knees. As they secure the key, alarms sound and Gore's security team storms the area. Matt and Emily demonstrate their exceptional combat skills, showcasing their expertise in covert operations. Their mission supervisor, Chuck, instructs them to maintain absolute secrecy regarding the key and proceed directly to their designated extraction point. At the rendezvous point, an unexpected arrival creates tension. Baron, a fellow agent and Emily's former romantic partner, whose lingering affection is evident. As their escape aircraft ascends into the night sky, Emily nervously reveals a life-altering secret to Matt. She is pregnant. She expresses her fear about raising a child in their dangerous profession and her anxiety about Matt's reaction. To her relief, Matt's face lights up with joy, and he expresses his readiness to embrace fatherhood, regardless of their perilous lifestyle. To celebrate, he summons a flight attendant for champagne, but a sense of unease pervades the atmosphere. When Emily attempts to use the restroom, the attendant blocks her path. Before they can react, the attendant seizes Emily from behind, demanding the ICS key. Matt, displaying his quick thinking, calmly tosses the key as a distraction. The moment the attendant loosens his grip, Matt and Emily spring into action, subduing him with their combat skills. Chaos erupts as they discover the entire plane is filled with hostile individuals. Emily disarms one attacker, but the flight attendant retrieves the weapon and aims at her. Matt tackles him just in time, but a stray bullet strikes the pilot, causing the plane to spiral out of control and crash onto a snow-covered mountain. The impact splits the aircraft in two, and the flight attendant escapes with the ICS key. As the wreckage teeters on the edge of a cliff, Matt finds a single parachute. Without hesitation, he hands it to Emily, urging her to save herself and their unborn child. However, Emily refuses to leave him behind. She grabs Matt by the leg, and together they leap from a plane, gliding through the icy air. After their daring escape from the plane crash, Matt and Emily land safely in the snowy wilderness. As they catch their breath, Matt suggests this might be their chance to leave their spy lives behind. With the CIA believing they're dead, they can finally start fresh, a normal life with their soon-to-arrive baby. 15 years pass, and the couple is living under new identities in Atlanta. They've built a quiet life with their 2 kids, Alice and Leo. Alice, now a sharp but rebellious teenager, keeps them on their toes. She's no fool. When she overhears Matt speaking Russian, she calls them out on their lies about their past. In the car one morning, Emily tries to bond with Alice, suggesting they catch a movie later. But Alice brushes her off, claiming she has a study date with a friend. As they drop her off at school, Matt and Emily can't resist spying on her through binoculars. They watch as Alice kisses her boyfriend, only to be caught red-handed. Alice rolls her eyes, embarrassed by her parents' over-the-top behavior. Back at home, Emily vents to Matt about how much she worries for Alice, something her own mother never did for her. While tidying up, Emily hears a faint beep from Alice's computer. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she tries to log in. After a few failed attempts, she finds a scrap of paper with the password scribbled on it. Mom sucks. Matt joins her as they uncover Alice's secret. Using their spy skills, they track her phone's GPS and discover she's not at a study date. She's at a club. The parents exchange a look. Their daughter might be a handful, but they're not about to let her wander into trouble without keeping an eye on her. When Matt and Emily storm into the club to drag Alice home, things don't go as planned. Alice argues that she's just having fun like everyone else her age, proudly flashing her fake ID. Before Emily can respond, a guy steps in, smirking, and tells her Alice isn't going anywhere. He even has the nerve to call Emily a boomer. Big mistake. Chaos erupts as a full-blown brawl breaks out. Matt jumps in to help, and the two end up crashing the party in the most explosive way possible. At one point, Matt notices a kid recording the fight and quickly snatches his phone to delete the footage. Back in the car, the tension is thick. Alice is grounded, and the parents are furious about her lies, but Alice is more fascinated by how her seemingly ordinary mom and dad fought like action heroes. Matt and Emily brush it off, claiming they picked up some moves in a taekwondo class and practiced a lot. Alice isn't buying it, and storms off to her room. Later, as Emily reflects on the adrenaline rush of the fight, she can't help but feel a pang of nostalgia for their old spy days. Matt reminds her why they left that life behind. For their family, to lighten the mood, he playfully spars with her, showing they haven't lost their edge. Meanwhile, Alice confronts her little brother, Leo, accusing him of ratting her out. Leo denies it, but he can't hide his smug grin about her being grounded. The next morning starts like any other, until Chuck shows up at their door. Matt is stunned to see his old friend and mission supervisor alive. Chuck explains he tracked them down through a viral video of their nightclub brawl. He warns them that Baron, their former colleague, has betrayed them and is now working with Gore. Their home is no longer safe, and they need to leave immediately. But before Chuck can finish, a sniper's bullet cuts him down. Mercenaries swarm the house, firing wildly. Thankfully, the kids are at school, giving Matt and Emily a chance to fight back. They dodge bullets, grab their gear, and speed off in their car to pick up Leo and Alice. As they race through the streets, Matt drops a bombshell he never actually gave the flight attendant the real ICS key during the plane crash. Instead, he hid it at Emily's mother's house in England. Emily is furious he kept this secret from her. But there's no time to argue. A pursuing car closes in, and Matt improvises by tossing a Diet Coke Mentos bomb at them. The explosion sends the attackers crashing into a truck, buying the family some breathing room. At the airport, the kids bombard their parents with questions. For the first time, Matt and Emily start peeling back the layers of their secret lives. Emily reveals that her mother, their grandmother, is still alive, and they're heading to her estate in England to lay low. Touching down in London, Matt and Emily stay on high alert, keeping their faces hidden from cameras. Alice, still confused and frustrated, demands answers, but her parents stay tight-lipped. They hustle the family onto a bus heading to a secluded parking lot where they borrow a Defender SUV, casually telling the kids it's their chauffeur's car. Meanwhile, Baron and Gore's mercenaries are hot on their trail. Baron uses airport surveillance to track their movements while Gore's men follow close behind. Inside the car, Matt and Emily instruct the kids to turn off their phones to avoid being tracked, but the kids are growing suspicious. When they stop at a gas station to refuel, Leo and Alice start questioning everything. Leo pulls up their parents' fake identities on his Nintendo Switch, only to discover the names belong to deceased individuals. The kids are stunned, and the parents realize they can't keep up the charade much longer. Matt explains they need to retrieve the ICS key and hand it over to MI6 in exchange for immunity. Before they can make a move, Gore's men show up at the gas station. Matt grabs a gas pump, turning it into an impromptu flamethrower to hold off the attackers. Emily, grinning like it's old times, takes down the rest with her fists. The kids watch in disbelief, wondering if these are really the same parents who nagged them about homework. As the family speeds away, Baron and his team arrive. Only to be blocked by a truckload of pipes, Matt strategically knocks over with a well-aimed shot. The road is now a barricade, buying the family precious time to escape. The car ride is anything but quiet. Leo and Alice bombard their parents with questions, demanding to know the truth. Finally, Matt caves. He admits they used to be CIA spies, but insists that part of their lives is over. Just as he finishes, he notices Leo's Nintendo Switch is still connected to Wi-Fi. Without hesitation, Matt snatches it and tosses it out the window, much to Leo's dismay. When they arrive at Emily's mother's estate, the tension doesn't ease. A gunshot rings out, and they find Grandma Ginny holding a rifle, having just shot down a bird. Emily immediately launches into an argument with her mother. But Matt steps in, explaining why they're there. Nigel, Ginny's partner, greets the family warmly, insisting the kids call him Grandpa. He takes Leo and Alice to his tech-filled room, showing off his coding skills and gadgets in an attempt to impress them. Meanwhile, Baron and his team track the family to Ginny's estate thanks to her past as an elite MI6 sniper. Back at the house, Matt reveals to Ginny that he hid the ICS key on her property. This sparks another heated argument between mother and daughter. Emily accuses Ginny of never being there for her, while Ginny fires back, saying Emily pushed her away by choosing to attend boarding school in America. Unbeknownst to them, Alice overhears the entire conversation and slips away, processing the family drama in silence. As Matt and Emily search for the key, Ginny takes the opportunity to bond with Alice, trying to bridge the gap that years of estrangement have created. Just as Matt and Emily retrieve the ICS key, the compound is breached by armed mercenaries. They rush back inside to find Ginny and Nigel tied up. While cutting them loose, they're surrounded by Chuck's men. To their shock, Chuck himself steps forward, very much alive. He reveals the sniper who killed him was a fake, part of an elaborate plan to manipulate them into leading him to the key. Chuck explains that after Matt and Emily disappeared 15 years ago, the CIA blamed him for losing the key. He was fired, lost everything, and now sees selling the key on the black market as his only way to reclaim his life. Meanwhile, Ginny, still pretending to be tied up, quietly takes out several guards with a tranquilizer gun. But when another mercenary arrives, a struggle ensues, and a stray bullet hits Nigel in the arm. Using the chaos, Matt and Emily disarm some of Chuck's men, but Chuck threatens to harm Leo and Alice if they resist. Outnumbered, the couple is knocked unconscious. When they wake up, Ginny is by their side. They check the CCTV footage for clues and discover Leo still has his smart ring on. Using its tracking feature, they pinpoint the kid's location. Chuck, now at a black tie event in a high-rise building, demonstrates the key's power to potential buyers. With the help of his tech-savvy assistant, he shuts down the city's power grid and even opens the Thames barrier, flooding parts of London. The bidders are impressed, and the key sells for a staggering $250 million. Baron finally arrives at the building and teams up with Matt and Emily. He reveals that MI6 knows Chuck is behind everything and wants to take him down, but they'll need to work together to pull it off. They corner Chuck, but he manages to slip away, fleeing the building with the couple hot on his heels. Chuck orders his team to take Leo and Alice to a boat while he makes his escape. On the road, Gore's men intercept Matt and Emily, demanding the key. The couple insists they don't have it, but before things escalate, a sniper appears on one of the men's faces. It's Ginny, Emily's mom, providing cover from a distance. Gore's men surrender, and Matt and Emily commandeer their bikes to chase after Chuck. Meanwhile, another group of Gore's men receives word of the escape and pursues the couple. Matt and Emily outmaneuver them with sharp turns and clever tactics, sending their pursuers crashing into dumpsters and platforms. Emily finds a boat and speeds after Chuck, with Matt joining her shortly after. Back on land, Nigel, unable to sit idle, takes matters into his own hands. He crashes his van into the car carrying Chuck's tech wizard Daphne, knocking her unconscious and recovering the ICS key. Nigel rushes to Ginny, proudly announcing he has the key. Ginny instructs him to close the Thames barrier, but Nigel panics. He lied on his resume and has no idea how to operate the system. He frantically presses random buttons, only to be met with error codes. On the boat, Emily and Matt catch up to Chuck. They swiftly take down his men, tossing them into the water. The fight isn't over yet, but they're one step closer to saving their kids and stopping Chuck for good. In a moment of sheer luck, Nigel's frantic button mashing on the computer actually works. The Thames barrier begins to close. Seeing their chance, Matt and Emily grab the kids and leap into the water. Chuck tries to stop them, but a well-coordinated punch from the couple sends him stumbling back. By the time he recovers, it's too late. His boat crashes into the closing barrier, seemingly ending his reign of chaos. A few days later, back in the US, life seems to be returning to normal. Alice scores the winning penalty in her football championship, and the family celebrates her victory. In a heartwarming moment, Alice tells Emily she'd love to go see a movie with her, finally bridging the gap between them. Nigel, ever the eager grandpa, promises Leo he'll teach him everything he knows about being a spy. Just as Matt and Emily start to relax, thinking their troubles are behind them, Baron emerges from the back seat of their car. Chuck is still alive. But that's not all. Baron reveals that Emily's father, someone Matt didn't even know was alive, will be joining the fight as her new partner. The news leaves Matt stunned, and family's peaceful moment is shattered again.